Hello, and we are now live, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football for another live stream on the channel. And Manchester United have beaten Tottenham Hotspur 3-0 in SACIKO. Now, you know what? For a 3-0, it wasn't the most exciting game in the world. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit bored. It wasn't a game that I ever thought we were going to win 3-0. If someone had told me before the game we were going to win 3-0, I'd have laughed at them. And in fact, I technically did. It was a game where part of me wasn't surprised that we went and won it because Tottenham is shit, but the other part of me is surprised because I just couldn't see us winning with the lineup that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer put up, if you want my honest opinion. And my camera has already gone out of focus. It really hates me. One sec, guys. 1 minute into the stream and the camera's like, no, fuck you ads. But smash a like on the video, subscribe down below, share the video and all of that. But I tell you what, Manchester United fans, it is safe to return to Twitter. It's safe to go back and return to Twitter because we are back above Arsenal where we belong. Whether you're Ole in, you're Ole out. And if you are Ole in, I still question you even despite the result today. I'm still Ole out. I wanted Manchester United to win. I am Ole out. I want Ole gone. I do not trust Ole, but all I want is Manchester United to win. And you know what? I'm not going to be one of those fans that's annoyed that we won and all of that and let it bother them. I'm happy we won and I'm letting myself enjoy the win. So I suggest you do the same because if we didn't win today, we're below Arsenal. And if you're below Arsenal in the league, you might as well delete Twitter because that ain't fun. Now, I have to say, look, was this a freak result? Probably yes. You know, Atalanta aren't a very good side. We beat them. We then got battered by Liverpool at the weekend. City is the real test. Will Ole use the same system for City? I think he will. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wouldn't surprise me. But what I do want to throw out and what I do want to say about the game is, you know what? This is Tottenham and they are shit. They are awful. Tottenham are probably the worst team we've played this season. Tottenham are probably easily the worst team we've played this season. You know, they made McTominay and Fred look good. Now, when was the last time McTominay and Fred looked good for Manchester United? When we beat Southampton 9-0. You know, they really made McTominay look good today, and he was definitely up there as a man of the match contender. You know, Tottenham are awful, NUNO'S awful, and it is SACIKO. And, you know, I would be absolutely disgraced if I'm a Spurs fan because this United side ain't good. We played a back seven with Fred with no tactics and we still played them off the park. Son was the only player that showed up for Spurs today. But I have to say, look, Tottenham is shit. They made us look good. I'm not looking at this result going, this is what we need to do. 5 at the back. This is the squad. This is the lineup. Ole's blah, blah, blah. Ole got it right today because he won 3-0. Congrats, Ole. You got it right. But Ole needs to get it right versus Atalanta, versus Manchester City. And I look at the starting 11, guys, and I see short-termism. Ronaldo, Cavani, a combined age of 70. McTominay and Fred, they run around a lot, but they don't produce that much. Cool, a back 5. But, you know, you brought Sancho, you've got Martial, you've got Rashford, you've got all these wingers. You know, why are you playing a back 5 when you built a team of a 4-2-3-1, you built a team of a 4-3-3? You know, all I see really when I look at this is short-termism from Manchester United, of course. But enjoy the win. We're above Arsenal. We can go on Twitter. We are back in a top 4 race. If we beat Manchester City at the weekend, we go equal in points with them, which I never thought I'd been saying. If someone had told me last week that we could be equal in points with Manchester City in 2 weeks' time, I would have laughed at them. But we can. If we beat Manchester City and we beat Atalanta, will Ole be sacked international break? Highly unlikely. And I do want to beat Manchester City and I do want to beat Atalanta, but I still want Ole to be sacked. And I have to say this now, and I'm just going to throw this out. And I heard Neil Talks Football say this in his TikTok. He said, look, you know, without a CDM, maybe a back 5 system at the back is what we have to do. You know, I hate back 5s. I'm all about 4-3-3 attacking football. I hate the back 5. But without a CDM, well, we do have a CDM in Matic, but the manager refuses to play. And without an out-and-out CDM at Manchester United, maybe the 4-3-3 doesn't work. Maybe the 4-2-3-1 doesn't work without an out-and-out CDM. Maybe the back 5 possibly is the way to go for Manchester United. But then I sit there and I think, you know, if the back 5 is the system we should be using because we don't have an out-and-out CDM, then why not get a manager that's won league titles with a back 5, the manager that is an expert in the back 5, the manager that is the best manager when it comes to a back 5 in the world, and Antonio Conte? You know, if Ole's plan is to use a back 5, and, you know, the reason we didn't want Conte is because would Sancho and Rashford get to the plans, then why didn't we go with Conte? Because Conte can use a back 5 and do what Ole did today, but 10 times better. If Conte was manager, we could have won 6-0 and we could see Donny and Pogba and the likes of that getting involved in a little bit more fluidity. You know, maybe without a CDM, the back 5 is the way for Manchester United. Maybe not. But if the back 5 is the way we're going to progress forward, then why don't we get Conte an international break? I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm just going to put it out. Smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't already. Let's go for 200 likes by the end of the live stream. So please do hit that like button. And of course, subscribe down below to Alice Talks Up if you're not subscribed to the channel, as it will mean a lot. But I'm actually going to, there's a lot for me to talk about. But first of all, I'm happy with the win. Ronaldo, I want to talk about Ronaldo. Then I will get into a few live chats. So let me know your thoughts on the match down below, but I want to get into Ronaldo, and then I will get into some live chats and all of that. But anyone out there that thinks Ronaldo's the problem at Manchester United, anyone out there thinks that Ronaldo's the problem at Manchester United, thinks Ronaldo made us worse, you've been made to look like an idiot today. You've been made to look like a fool, because Ronaldo is not the problem at Manchester United. Ronaldo does not make us a worse team. Ronaldo is our best player, and the only bad thing Ronaldo has done at Manchester United since he's come here is keep Ole in the job 3 times. Villarreal, Atalanta, today. You know, the only bad thing Ronaldo's done is keep Ole in a job. Ronaldo is not the problem at Manchester United. And I said this before, Martial was the problem, Lukaku's the problem, now Ronaldo's the problem. No, Ronaldo proved today why he is world class, why he is the best of all time. He almost scored 2. His second goal he scored that was offside was a fantastic finish. The first goal wasn't a fantastic finish. So I look at that game and I do see a bit of individual brilliance. You know, not many players are going to score that goal Ronaldo scores. Not many players can do that ball Bruno does. But we've got those individual brilliant players. And I just look at Bruno, I look at Ronaldo, and I go, they're playing great now. You know, Bruno's had a good season. Ronaldo's got 7 goals this season. You know, Messi can't even score in the easiest league in the world. You know, Ronaldo, Bruno having good seasons, but imagine how good they'd be under an elite coach. You know, Ronaldo's doing this in an underperforming Manchester United side. Bruno's created the most chances in the league in an underperforming Manchester United side. Just imagine what they do under a good coach. Thank you very much for the super chat. Ole trying to copy Tuchel tactics. Maybe. I knew Ole was going to try something different. I knew McFred was going to play, but I knew Ole was going to try something different today, because I think the 4-2-3-1 was gone. I'd have liked to see a 4-3-3 with Matic and Donny, but I knew McFred wasn't going to be dropped. And I have to say, before the game, I did think it was criminal that McFred wasn't dropped. I said, no, we lost 5-0 to Liverpool, and none of those defenders or none of those midfielders were dropped. The back 6 versus Liverpool, none of them were dropped, despite conceding 5 goals, which in itself is criminal. That is criminal management from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But then when your job's on the line, you have to go with the players you trust, and we know that they are the players Ole trusts. So I understand why Ole did it, but I also thought, look, I look at that manager and I go, he is clueless. I do look at that manager and go, he is stubborn. He is clueless. Smash a like on the video, though. We are going for 200 likes. Manchester United have beaten Tottenham 3-0 with Rashford, Cavani and Ronaldo goals in El SACIKO. Ice Studio says, Conte in. Do you think Ole will be sacked? I think there's definitely potential for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be sacked in the international break still. You know, we beat Atalanta quite convincingly, I thought, even though we beat them 3-2. I think, you know, still, I think City will be the reality test. Even though City ain't been that great, I think City will be the reality test. And I think if we get hammering to City, you know, he will be sacked. And I think you can only play like this against Spurs, because Spurs are just awful. I want to just give a big shout out and appreciation, though, to Raphael Varane. Everyone smash that like button for Raphael Varane, because without him, we were conceding 4 to Leicester and we were conceding 5 to Liverpool. And Raphael Varane is a class above all our centre-backs. Maybe because he's actually been coached properly and he's had the Real Madrid coaching, but Raphael Varane makes such a difference to that defence. We've only had 2 clean sheets this season and Varane was involved in both of them. Okay, you got to smash that like button for Mr. Raphael Varane, because he was brilliant today. He was absolutely brilliant today, yet again. You know, he made a brilliant interception. He stopped a crossing that someone could have tapped in at the back post. He was winning his headers. You know, Kane was a ghost. You know, Varane was the centre-back, so he was in charge of Kane. And everyone was saying Kane's come as a ghost for Halloween just a day early, because no one saw Harry Kane. So smash a like button for Raphael Varane, because he is a class above our centre-backs. And without him, we've been a mess. You know, Ronaldo's been a great signing. I believe that Sancho will be a great signing, but I still think Raphael Varane is still the most important signing we made this summer. And I said this in the transfer window, and I say this now, because our defence without Varane and our defence with Varane, there is a significant difference. Varane controls that defence. You can tell he knows what to do. We're not as open at the back. I know we're playing a back 5 tonight, but look at the back 4 games we played with Varane versus the back 4 games we didn't play with Varane. Conceded a lot of goals without Varane. Varane has been fantastic for Manchester United, and I think he really deserves a little bit of credit for that. So do smash a like on the video if you agree with me that Raphael Varane has been brilliant, and I thought he was brilliant today. I also thought Wan-Bissaka was weirdly good. You know, I've never really liked to see Wan-Bissaka in a 5 at the back system as a wing back, Never been the biggest fan of Wan-Bissaka's wing-back. But again, the runs he made, the space he got into, if only he had the end product, he would have been really, really good today. I thought he got into some good runs, into some good space, the crossing lap. But again, he made up for it because, if it wasn't for Wan-Bissaka, Son could have very easily made it 1-0. Wan-Bissaka made that world-class tackle to stop Son possibly making it 1-0 as well. So, again, Wan-Bissaka and Varane brilliant. Luke Shaw and Maguire, still not convinced by them, but much, much stronger today. Maguire had a much, much better game. He actually made a really, really crucial tackle on Spurs to stop them making it 1-0. But again, something not right with Maguire, something still not right with Luke Shaw. And I would have liked to see someone different play. I would have liked to see Telles play in this back five. I actually would have rested Luke Shaw. He's played a lot lately. And I think Luke Shaw could be one of those players that maybe he's dropped off because he never had a break. Luke Shaw's been fantastic. But he had the Euros and he never really had a break after the Euros because we got all the way to the Euros final. I think maybe Luke Shaw's one of those players that's dropped off because he didn't have a break. We saw that with Bruno Fernandes last season. The first half of the season, Bruno Fernandes was fantastic. The second half, he dropped off because OLE never gave him that break. And I would like to see Telles play our next game versus Atalanta. I really would, because I do think Luke Shaw needs a rest here and there, because I just think, and I look at Luke Shaw, we know he's not a bad player, but he just looks absolutely exhausted. I mean, he looked a lot better today, but still, he's not the Luke Shaw that we used to see, and that is what I'm worrying about and all of that. But I have to say, look, the back seven was so defensive. Yeah, it did work well because, again, Spurs were awful. But I think Varane being back is a big boost. And I have to say as well with Varane, I could see definitely growth in confidence. I think when Varane's back, the team looks a lot more confident. The team looks a lot more composed as well. And what I like about Varane, he gets the ball and he tries to move it quickly. He tries to start play. I think we're so used to, Magaluf and Mukfred, if that's what we call them, that back six, and because they can't really pass, they pass it sideways amongst each other. Varane's very much like when he's on the ball, he's looking for that pass to get the play going, to get the play moving as well, which I think is a very good aspect of his game, as well as his pace at the back. I think with Lindelof and Maguire being a little bit slow, I think Varane's pace at the back is something key. But Rafael Varane, he's up there for man of the match. But for me, man of the match, I think it has to be Ronaldo. He got the goal and an assist. He scored a fantastic goal as well that was ruled out for offside. What a finish. I tell you what, Ronaldo's 2 goals that have been ruled out for offside against Liverpool and today were absolutely brilliant finishes. And that throws me back to my earlier point. Anyone that sits there and thinks that Ronaldo's the problem at Manchester United, Ronaldo's an issue, is an absolute fool. I still can't believe there are Manchester United fans that blame Ronaldo for our poor form and not the coaches, because at the end of the day, I said it earlier, the only thing bad Ronaldo's done at Manchester United is he's keeping Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the job. That's the only thing I feel like you can actually criticise him for. I do want to criticise it. I'm happy with the win and all of that. But this can't be a long-term thing. It seems very, very short-term with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's about saving his job. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's the manager that's, we brought the players that he wants because he wants to play a 4-2-3-1. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for me, he's got to still play a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. Maybe he needs that seed him in January. Maybe we get a seed him in January and Ole starts playing the football we want to see him play. I don't know. But if we're going to play 5 at the back, we might as well get Conte an international break for me. Because I would rather see 5 at the back under Antonio Conte than 5 at the back under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I know we're going to play 5 at the back versus Manchester City. Now, I know that exact same starting 11 is going to play versus Manchester City. And look, if this starting 11 gets a result versus Manchester City, then fair play, Ole could be onto something about saving his job. But then that makes me think, well, what do we do with Sancho now? What do we do with Greenwood, Amad Diallo, Martial, Jesse Lingard, all of that? I still think Ole will be gone in the international break. I think City will beat us. I think City have just lost 2-0 at home to, Crystal Palace. No, were they away or home? City have just lost 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Laporte won't be in that game because he got a red card. I still think that City will probably beat us and Ole will be sacked. I think it's not great. I think if we go below Arsenal in the league, Ole will definitely be sacked. But I have to say, very, very happy with the win. Very, very happy with the result. And I want to throw this out as well. Before I get into some live chats, and I will get into some live chats in just a minute, guys. So smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's go for 200 likes. If you're watching right now and you're happy with the win, but you're still Ole out, smash that like button if you're still Ole out despite the win. See how many of you are still Ole out despite the win. So smash that like button if you are. But I have to say this now. Bruno Fernandes has been incredible this season, guys. I think he has. I know we've underperformed. I know Bruno hasn't got the numbers he normally gets. But Bruno has been a level above everyone else. And I'm going to share you with Statman Dave Twitter. I'm going to get an interesting stat on my screen. So just bear with me a second. But as you can see, Bruno Fernandes Premier League stats here via Statman Dave. He has created 37 chances in the Premier League this season. In second is Alexander-Arnold and Grealish with 26. That's absolutely mad. And the chances Bruno creates are good chances. And because we haven't been on our A game, Bruno hasn't got his assist numbers as normal. But Bruno Fernandes has created the most chances in the Premier League this season, made the most key passes, and made the most big chances in the Premier League this season in an underperforming Manchester United side. I'm looking at what Ronaldo and Bruno are doing in an underperforming Manchester United side, and I go, imagine if this side had a good manager and good coaches and was playing to the best of his ability, how good we could be. Because we have players that are putting up great numbers and playing well in underperforming side. Marcus Rashford, 3 goals in 4 games for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes, an assist today. We haven't even had a single penalty that we scored this season as well. So you can't call him Fernandes because Bruno hasn't scored a single penalty this season. He's got 4 goals, 3 assists. Cristiano Ronaldo, again, 7 goals for the season and an assist, hasn't taken a single penalty. So you can't call him Ronaldo. These players are playing really, really good, despite the system, despite the lack of coaching. And that, again, is why I'm OLE out, because I'm thinking, how good could Bruno be under a world-class coach? Because what I see with Bruno is, he does. I feel like Bruno does it himself. Those intelligent passes and plays that Bruno does, they're not from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's from Bruno being an intelligent player. And, you do need intelligent players to succeed. But what Bruno does, the weight of his pass, the passes he makes, the things that he sees, and only 1 in a million players can do that. Bruno and Kevin De Bruyne are probably the only 2 Premier League players that have that ability to sort of pick out the pass, the weight of the pass, and do that consistently throughout a match. And that's not on Ole, that's on Bruno. And I'm thinking, if I'm looking at how intelligent Bruno is and how tactically well he is, imagine how good he would be under a top manager. And I have to say, a lot of Bruno Fernandes hate, and it really, really bugs me, the Bruno Fernandes hate. I never understand it. But smash a like on the video if you think Bruno's been brilliant. I think Ronaldo has to be man of the match for the goal, for the assist. But do smash a like on the video if Bruno Fernandes has massively impressed you this season. I have to say this as well. Kevin De Bruyne is a ghost this season. He's just like Halloween, he's a ghost. Kevin De Bruyne has been atrocious this season. If this was Kevin De Bruyne with 37 chances created and 4 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League, everyone would be saying De Bruyne the best in the world. If Bruno was putting in the performances that De Bruyne had this season, everyone would be saying, Fernandes, look at him now, he's not taking penalties. I have to say this now. Just if Kevin De Bruyne was a Manchester United, Arsenal or Chelsea player, people will be talking about how poor he is. I want to throw this out now. Bruno Fernandes in 2021 has been better than Kevin De Bruyne. Since Bruno Fernandes has joined the Premier League, he has been better than Kevin De Bruyne. His stats without penalties for goals, assists, chances created are better. Since Bruno's joined the Premier League, he has been better than Kevin De Bruyne, but people aren't ready to accept that. I agree Kevin De Bruyne is better overall. Kevin De Bruyne won Player of the Season last year, but Kane deserved to win Player of the Season last year. Do you know what I mean? Bruno was better than Kevin De Bruyne last season. Bruno's been better than Kevin De Bruyne this season, but people don't want to accept that. But if Bruno was at Manchester City and Kevin De Bruyne was at Manchester United, everyone will be saying that Bruno is clear. Because Bruno has been brilliant this season in an underperforming system. And it really annoyed me that people were saying drop Bruno. Bruno hasn't actually been that bad. Like we lost 4-2 to Leicester. Bruno created 8 chances. Bruno created more chances than anyone else on the pitch, despite losing 4-2 to Leicester. He created 8 chances. Bruno, when we're losing, is still being one of our best players. His numbers, it all makes sense. And it absolutely infuriates me. A couple of idiots out there saying, Fernandes, look at him now, he's not taking penalties. I'm like, do you watch football? Donny's still on the bench watching Matic go on the field. I do think bringing Matic on was the right choice from Ole. However, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I would be bringing Matic on, not for Bruno, possibly Fred or McTominay. But again, I guess he's trying to see the game out, even though it is Spurs. Look, Ole's substitutions, Ole's system, very defensive, very negative, all of that. Niall Kane said I wouldn't get carried away or count my chickens. Same thing happened with Arsenal. Yes, they won 2-0. Delightful United needed that only thing to stop West Ham, have a goal difference. Yeah, look, I'm not going to get all like this. I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is what we need to do. Ole's found a solution. This is it. I'm happy on it. I'm not going to be sitting there like that. I'm still Ole out. Still don't trust the process. Still don't trust the system. It is Spurs. It's like Leeds. When we beat Leeds 5-2, I was absolutely gassed when we beat Leeds 5-2. But what I said when we beat Leeds 5-2 is, guys, this is Leeds. Leeds are an anomaly team. Let's actually see how we do across the season. I'm not convinced by this win to Spurs because I just think the Spurs are absolutely shocking. Their best player, Harry Kane, doesn't want to be there. He's probably causing problems in the dressing room. He was a ghost today. I'll give Rafa Varane credit for the Kane being a ghost, but Kane has been shocking all season. I'm not sitting here going, I'm happy with the win. I'm going to take the win. But I'm not sitting here starting to be Ole in again because I'm like, this is Spurs. I want to see what we do against Manchester City. I want to see what we do versus Atalanta. And most importantly, I want to see what the Glazers do in the international break. There are still days where you play poor. Yeah, exactly. But wait till Atalanta and City beat us next week. Look, next week's the real test. I think you can't. Spurs are probably the worst team we've played this season in terms of look at them. I looked at Spurs and I thought Son's the only player I thought was trying on that pitch for Spurs. I generally thought Son was the only player on that pitch that really looked like he gave the fuck. Do you know what I mean? And so I like Son. You know, he's a hard-working player, but yeah, I can't get too happy with the win. I'm happy with the win. I'll take the win. I could go on Twitter now. You know, we're not below Arsenal, but again, I can't be super gassed about the win. I can't be going Ole at the wheel because we won 3-0. We deserved to win 3-0. We outplayed Spurs. Brilliant. But the team we played, meh. Short-termism, yes. That's how I feel about the situation. A couple more things I do want to talk about as well. But guys, please do smash that like button if you have not already. We're trying to hit 200 likes on this video, so please do hit that like button. If you're Ollie out, despite the win, if you're still Ollie out, hit that like button. We only need 70 more likes for 200 likes, so smash that like button. And please do go ahead and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you are new to the channel for daily Manchester United content and updates. I do Manchester United live streams pretty much every day. I'll be live tomorrow giving you updates on Ollie's future, Conte, all of that. I'll also be live for the Atalanta watch along. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. The protest is a smile and try your best, lol, says Gaz Elliott. That probably is the protest as well. Ollie's crap, we should be in a title race this year. I agree, we should be in a title race this year. And Spurs played very badly. I mean, the Spurs team he played wasn't a good Spurs team either, you know. That is a very good point. You know, McTominay and Fred might have looked good, but who were they playing against? Skip and Lo Celso. Lo Celso was absolutely shocking today for Spurs. That Spurs lineup, not great, was it? They had Skip, Højbjerg, and Lo Celso, you know. Again, you know, not good from Spurs. Dyer at the back. Ben Davies was playing. No wonder Wan-Bissaka looks so good. Ben Davies is absolutely atrocious, guys. Ben Davies is absolutely atrocious. What I do want to talk about is Cavani. Smash a like for Ederson Cavani, by the way, guys. Love Cavani. Very hard-working player. I think what I like about Cavani is he never stops running. He never stops trying. He's running around a lot. You know, I sound like Ollie there. I like this player because he never stops running. He never stops trying. I sound like Ollie when I say that. But like with Cavani, like when he's actually good and he tries, that's what I mean, you know. And he won the ball back in some key areas. He got the goal he deserved. I thought Cavani had a good game. He had 2 early headers in the game. I think Wan-Bissaka and Bruno gave Cavani early chances. And I did feel that Cavani was having a good game. And I do think that Cavani and Ronaldo work as a strike partnership. The only thing is, we've got wingers, and our strength at Manchester United is wingers. And I like Cavani, I like Ronaldo, and I like them to play as a strike partnership 100%. Of course I would. But when you've got Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, Mason Greenwood, Jesse Lingard, Amad Diallo, when you've got 6 brilliant wingers at Manchester United, it makes it really hard for me to actually sit there and go, you know, I want Cavani and Ronaldo to play together, because I do want Cavani and Ronaldo to play together. I think it works. I think the Cavani-Ronaldo strike partnership works. We've seen it before. We've seen it again. But we've got to think about, how does Jadon Sancho get into this? How does Marcus Rashford get into this? How does Mason Greenwood, who's scored 4 goals in the Premier League this season, get into this? You know, we've got to think about all the other players. And that's where it's going to test Ollie. If Ollie's going to keep his job, he's got to learn to rotate and make the most out of his squad, because Ollie can have this starting 11 and this could work for Ollie and we could beat Manchester City and Ollie could, let's say, keep his job. Hopefully not. But as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got to sit there and think, actually, how does he make sure that he can use Ronaldo, Sancho, Martial and Rashford and utilise them in the squad? Ollie, if he wants to be an elite manager, if he wants to be like Thomas Tuchel, Pep, Klopp, and he's never going to be like them, no matter how hard he tries. We all know that. But what I mean is, Thomas Tuchel, you see Hudson-Odoi play, you see Seat play, you see Werner play, you see Havertz play, you see Mount play, you see Lukaku play. With Manchester United, it's just, you can predict the lineup week in, week out. It's Fred, Bruno, Ronaldo, maybe Greenwood, maybe Rashford. We've got to look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and go, is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer going to rotate this? You know, this was one game. I'm not saying that this system's going to work for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but are we going to see Cavani and Ronaldo? Are we going to see Cavani, Ronaldo, Martial? Are we going to see Greenwood and Ronaldo, Rashford and Ronaldo? When you've got an abundance of great attacking players and a lot of them aren't happy because they're getting a lack of game time, how does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer make it work if he's going to play 5 at the back without wingers? And I don't think he will. I think he will play the same players. And that's when they get exhausted. That's when players get frustrated. And that's the problem. I think if Conte comes in, plays this system, we'll see Rashford, we'll see Cavani, we'll see Ronaldo, we'll see Martial, we'll see Donny. You know, we've got to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer change it up. We've got to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer make a difference. And the only thing is, I think if he's going to start playing 5 at the back, then we might as well get Conte in the international break, because that's what Conte does. And I want to see a 4-3-3. And maybe we can't play a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 because we don't have a CDM, and the only CDM that we do have, Ole doesn't trust in Matic. Maybe that's the reason behind it, because actually the best games we've played in the 4-2-3-1 have come with Matic and Donny, because Matic is a CDM. Maybe that's the reasoning behind it. I do want to say that Scott McTominay was fantastic today. I'm going to throw that out. I am a McTominay critic. I never thought McTominay is the best player. I've never been Scott McTominay's biggest fan. A lot of you guys will probably agree with me on that. I have been a critic of Scott McTominay, but I did think McTominay was very, very good today. And I think one of the reasons McTominay was very, very good today, and I've said this before, and I've said it loads of times, is McTominay's not a CDM. McTominay, whether he plays as a lone CDM or a CDM in the pivot, McTominay's never been good as a CDM. I think because we played 5 at the back, it allowed McTominay to be a box-to-box midfielder today. Because we played 5 at the back, so we didn't need 2 CDMs when you play 5 at the back. It was Fred that was a lot more defensive than McTominay. And because McTominay had 5 defenders behind him and Fred being a bit more defensive than him, McTominay didn't have to be a CDM, because McTominay is not a CDM. I thought the reason McTominay was quite good today was because he actually got a lot of license, because he had so much defensive protection around him that he had a lot less defensive responsibility, so he could actually go forward and make those runs forward and get higher up the pitch, because McTominay's best games for Manchester United come when McTominay is much higher up the pitch. I always find that, and maybe the 5 at the back system gets the best out of McTominay. I think you put a good CDM next to McTominay, he could be a good player, he could be a Solskjaer type player. I've never really rated McTominay, but I tell you what, when McTominay gets up the pitch and when he's allowed to play an advanced role and he doesn't have much defensive responsibility, McTominay is good. You know, he was a forward his whole youth. He's not a CDM, he's a box-to-box midfielder. He needs a good CDM next to him, or he needs a lot of defensive protection, because McTominay was good today. I thought defensively he was quite good. But I think that's because he had Varane, Lindelof, everyone around him, and Spurs was shit. And I think that's why he had a good game. And I think maybe you can play McTominay in the midfield if you've got 5 at the back and he's allowed to attack. But I don't want to see, McTominay playing as a CDM ever again, because McTominay is not a CDM. He plays as a box-to-box. He has a good game. McTominay, not a CDM whatsoever. And I thought I was really impressed with McTominay. I said the other day, he hasn't a good game since Southampton 9-0. He needs to be dropped. I'm still absolutely shocked with the manager. I'm going to throw this out again. We lost 5-0 to Liverpool. None of the defenders on midfielders got dropped. We lost 5-0 to Liverpool. None of the defenders on midfielders got dropped. In fact, the 2 attackers got dropped when we lost 5-0 and conceded 5 goals. I think that's criminal by a manager. I think any manager that wants to get respect from the players needs to have discipline and not favoritism. And I say one thing that infuriates me about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is his favoritism. I'm sorry, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but your favoritism at Manchester United could potentially ruin the club. You've got the win today. You deserve to win today. I'm happy. But any other manager, if you lose 5-0 to your arch rivals, you drop your favourite players, because you know what? Fred and McTominay had a good game today, but I still think it's criminal how they haven't been dropped, because you know what? If I'm a manager and my player's performing consistently bad, he deserves to be dropped, and someone else deserves a chance. And that's the only thing I don't like about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I thought this was an opportunity for Donny or Matic to get a chance, because I'm like, Fred and McTominay have been poor. But then again, I did understand why he started Fred and McTominay, because they're the players he trusts. But I do think, again, from a manager's perspective, you should be dropping the players that aren't performing, and that's what annoys me about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And the reports came out. There was obviously the elite dressing room reports came out, and obviously one of the things that was said in the elite dressing room reports that came out was that obviously players said that Ole was too soft. And I think Ole not dropping any of the defenders on midfielders after Newcastle shows he's too soft. But at the end of the day, he got it right, and I'm not going to sit here and criticise him because he got it right. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out and said that Scott McTominay was his man of the match by a mile. Scott McTominay had a good game, but so did Varane, so did Wan-Bissaka, so did Bruno, so did Ronaldo. For me, Ronaldo is my man of the match. Let me know in the live chat who is your man of the match, because I am going to be looking at a few live chats in just a second. Just taking a quick swig of water, but smash your like, subscribe if you're new, and let me know your thoughts on the live chats. I'm going to read some out. All I'm going to say to Nuno, I've got a message to Nuno. If Manchester United keep a clean sheet against you, the manager should be sacked. We never keep clean sheets. We kept a clean sheet against Spurs. And Nuno should be sacked. Varane, brilliant. Appreciation to Rafael Varane. And Scott McTominay won 11 duels today, the most of a Manchester United midfielder has won in any league game this season. So I have to say, I've criticised McTominay. I don't think he's been good since the Southampton 9-0 win, but I do think McTominay suits the system. However, if we are going to play a 5 at the back system, Ole has to go and Conte has to come in. If we're going to play 5 at the back, Ole has to go, Conte's going to come in. And if we are starting to play 5 at the back with no wingers, then why did we spend £72 million on Jadon Sancho when we could have invested in a CDM or could have invested in long term? All I'm going to throw that out as well. Smash a like on the video, by the way, guys, if you're still Ole out despite the loss, despite the win, sorry. And people saying Wan-Bissaka man of the match. Diego says Bruno. Wan-Bissaka, Bruno, brilliant. McTominay was a 6 out of 10. Bruno, 7 out of 10. Wan-Bissaka, CR7, 8 out of 10. I will do player ratings in just a second, so do stay tuned for that. But yeah, I was joking when I said Ole's at the wheel. Yes, he won 3-0, but we were just awful, sad. Spurs were just awful. Look, at the end of the day, I said it before, Spurs were awful today. Big up Thomas Souček. This thing is, Thomas Souček's a quality player, but I think one of the reasons he's so good is because you've got Declan Rice next to him. I'd like to see what McTominay could do with Declan Rice next to him. If Pogba leaves, let him go. Sancho can be made centre mid, not centre mid, but right mid, yeah. We are in a short-term mode. It's all about saving the elephant in the room. Great striker, but over 10 equivalent as a manager. I agree. This is common. I think hits the nail on the head. Ole assist by Sir Alex. I think Sir Alex must have said something to Ole. And the thing is, Basuma only played 60 minutes for Brighton, and he didn't the whole 90 minutes today. Basuma's a good player. And do you think if Man United's going to draw against Atalanta and lose against City, Ole will be sacked anyway? By the way, where are you from? Yes, I do. I think if we draw to Atalanta and we lose to Manchester City, I think especially if Manchester City outplays from top to bottom, Ole will go, because we will be, if we lose to Manchester City, we could be 11 points off the title, only 11 games into the season. I think if we lose to Manchester City maybe narrowly and we didn't deserve to lose and it was a convincing performance, possibly. But I think if we do, if Manchester City do to us what Liverpool did to us, then I think Ole will be sacked. Now, I will give you updates on Ole's future. There will definitely be some updates coming out on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future tomorrow. I don't think this win makes a difference to Ole's future. I think they're judging off Manchester City, Spurs and Atalanta as a collective. I still think if we had lost today, Ole still wouldn't be getting sacked in the international break. I don't think this win makes a difference to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future. There will be updates coming out on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future in the next week about how safe it is. So make sure you subscribe, because I will give you all the latest on Ole's future. So do subscribe for that. I think this time next week we'll have a clear idea if Ole's going to get sacked into the international break or stay. I think the only way Ole will be manager for Manchester United next month is if he does beat Manchester City and if he does beat Atalanta. I think if we drop points to City and Atalanta, he will go into the international break, because we know that United have held talks with Antonio Conte. So, you know, that's the situation. But make sure you smash a like on the video and all of that. It's a good reaction from Manchester United, but we've got to win all our games. You know, we don't want to go and drop points to Atalanta and then they'll say we'll bounce back, you know. But this is Manchester United's second clean sheet after 20 games, and Varane's been involved in both of them. Basically sums out that Varane is our best defender by a mile. Rashford again scoring more goals. Marcus Rashford has only played about 3. Marcus Rashford has played 4 games all season in an underperforming Manchester United side, but still has more goals than Jack Grealish. Here's a stat for you. £100 million Jack Grealish, the most expensive player in Premier League history, the left winger that kept Rashford out the Euro squad for England. Jack Grealish, who's so clear of Marcus Rashford, has scored less goals in a performing City squad than in more games and in 10 times more minutes than Marcus Rashford has scored in an underperforming Man United squad. Rashford's already got more goals than Jack Grealish, despite Jack Grealish being clear of Rashford, say Manchester City fans. Most expensive winger in the world, Grealish, 100 million in the Premier League. 0 million Marcus Rashford, already has more goals. There's a stat for you, by the way, guys. Rashford off the bench scores. Bish, bash, bosh. Rashford scored 2 goals off the bench in the Premier League this season. Rashford scored a goal in the Champions League this season. Marcus Rashford, and that's why I want to go back to the 4-3-3, because I want to see left wing Marcus Rashford playing under a good manager in a good system. But one thing that's really good is Rashford is still scoring and all of that. We have to criticise Ole and his defensive players. Yes, we will do player ratings. Yes, but let me know in the live chat who is your man of the match, by the way, guys. As I said earlier, mine is Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, Messi can't score in the Farmers League. Is Ronaldo the GOAT? Is Messi the GOAT? That's debatable. I don't think there's much difference between them. But a lot of people think that Messi is clear of Ronaldo. You can say Messi's better than Ronaldo. You can say Ronaldo's better than Messi. But to say Messi's clear of Ronaldo, nah. Messi is playing for the league leaders in the easiest league, the Farmers League, the French league, and can't score a goal. Ronaldo is playing for a Manchester United side that doesn't provide him any service, that are really underperforming in the hardest league in the world, and he's got more goals than Messi. Ronaldo's done it in the Champions League, he's done it in the Premier League. Messi ain't doing it in the Farmers League. Just want to say that as well. So Ronaldo haters sit down, and do you know what's really funny is because, you know, Messi and Ronaldo, there's almost got like the Ronaldo lovers hate Messi and the Messi lovers hate Ronaldo and the Ronaldo hate Ronaldo. I absolutely love it, guys. What I absolutely love is that people get so triggered when Ronaldo scores, and all Ronaldo is doing is sitting down the haters. The amount of people that said Ronaldo's going to be a flop at Manchester United, Ronaldo won't make it at Manchester United. A lot of people were convinced that Ronaldo was going to be a flop and he was the problem and all that, and Ronaldo's just there and he's just proving them all wrong. Warrior says his man of the match is Cavani. People saying Ronaldo the GOAT. Smash a like on the video for Ronaldo is the GOAT. Smash a like on the video. Brain Sample says Nuno is the footballing twat. I mean, you couldn't score against Manchester United. They've only kept one clean sheet all season. Very embarrassing, Spurs. And the formation change shows how clueless OLE is. I do agree, but it did work for him. And Ronaldo is the GOAT. Smash a like if Ronaldo is your GOAT. Daniel Fleming says, it seems as if OLE has forgotten who Jadon Sancho, Donny van de Beek, Jesse Lingard are, and Martial. It came out on Instagram just before the game that Martial had been completely dropped from the squad despite training all week and scoring in his last game. So Martial is not happy, you know. Do you know what's funny is Martial, okay, wants to leave. Cavani's going to leave at the end of the season. Matic is going to leave at the end of the season. Pogba's going to leave at the end of the season. Donny's going to leave at the end of the season. Lingard's going to leave at the end of the season. That is 6 key players leaving at the end of the season if OLE stays. And that's why I don't want OLE to stay, because I think unless OLE can make it work and utilise all his top players and, you know, reward players like Tellers and Donny a chance, then OLE's going to lose 6 key players at the end of the season. And a top manager would make sure every player gets involved. And I look at it, Cavani, Pogba, Donny leaving. Yep, Cavani, Pogba, Donny leaving, Matic leaving, Martial leaving, Lingard leaving, Tellers leaving. 7 good players are leaving Manchester United if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stays as manager. And that's not what I want to see. That's not what I want to see. And that's my only fear, because if a top manager would know how to use all these top players, careful what you say. If they sack Nuno, we might just get him. Conte won't go to Spurs. I think Conte will wait for Manchester United, because I think, look, at the end of the day, I still think Ole will be sacked before Christmas. I still believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be sacked before Christmas, because I just think what he's doing is short-termism, and short-termism doesn't work. He's taking a game by the game. He's not building a system. It's not working. I think he's, you know, and Spurs are shit. I think we could have lost to any other team but Spurs today, despite the result. One thing it makes me think is I just can't really fathom how Sancho, Rashford, and Greenwood are on the bench in a must-win game. And the only thing that really, really annoyed me about this game is we concede 5 goals to 5 goals to Liverpool. None of the midfielders and defenders are dropped. Yet Rashford and Greenwood get dropped after losing 5-0, but the midfielders and defenders stay despite conceding 5 goals. You know, any manager that's dropping attackers and keeping defenders, I think, is not a good enough manager for Manchester United. He's too defensive. He's too negative. He got lucky because it's Spurs today and Spurs are shit. I don't trust Ole Gunnar Solskjaer long term. I still think he's going to go. I put money on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won't be manager by Christmas, because I look at what he's done today and I go, that's because Spurs are shit. I think he got it right. I'll give him credit for that. I think we played well. We deserve to win, but I also know the Spurs are shit, and I also know we've got an abundance of wingers and attackers, and he's right, and he's dropping all these. All he's about this United DNA. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes on and he talks a lot about this United DNA, playing the youth. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer played 2 strikers at the combined age of 70. And dropped Sancho, Greenwood and Rashford that are the future of this club, the youth. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is playing the same underperforming players week in, week out. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not about this Manchester United style. And, that's the one thing that annoys me. He's very hypocritical. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a very, very hypocritical manager, guys. Very, very hypocritical manager. Make sure you smash a like on the video if you have not already, and do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. We are going to do player ratings in just a second. Don't you worry. But let me know your match thoughts down below. Ole out, Ole out, Ole out. Smash a like on the video if Ronaldo is your GOAT. I'm still Ole out. If you're watching the video and you are still Ole out despite the result, again, smash that like button. I know we won. I'm happy with the win. We won 3-0. We deserve to win. We played well today, but I'm still Ole out. And if you agree with me, and if you're still Ole out despite the result, make sure you hit that like button as well and subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football. We're on the road to 22,000 subscribers. We're 60 subscribers away from 21.7k. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. So if you don't want to miss out on daily Manchester United updates and content on the channel, do go ahead and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe with notifications on, as Diego says, and keep smashing a like for the GOAT Alice. Yes, do that, and give Johnny more chances to play, otherwise his performance will decrease. That's the problem. Ollie is ruining Donny van der Beek's career by not playing him, and it's the sad truth, it's the sad problem. I love Donny van der Beek, but his career is being ruined by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And look, I love Donny. I want him to play. I think he deserves to play more, 100%. And I hope that Donny gets to leave in January. I hope Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't stop Donny leaving again, because I think it's criminal. I think it's absolutely criminal that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer actually stopped Donny van der Beek playing. I think it's absolutely criminal that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stopped him leaving. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer stopped Donny van der Beek leaving because he told him he was going to play him. Donny van der Beek was this close to leaving Manchester United, by the way, guys, and Ollie said, no, I'm going to play you. And what's Ollie done? Donny got one 90-minute game. He was man of the match, and hasn't had a minute since. You know, it's been nearly 4 weeks since Donny had that man of the match game, and he hasn't got a minute since. It's been a month. It's been a month since we played West Ham and Donny was man of the match, and he hasn't had a minute since. Yet this manager wouldn't let him leave and promised he was going to play him. I think that's absolutely criminal. I think the treatment of Donny van der Beek has been absolutely criminal. And again, I just hope that Donny leaves, gets a loan, and can revive his career, because he's a brilliant player. Cristiano Ronaldo did save Ollie again. Smash a like if Cristiano Ronaldo is your goal. And what has Donny done to Ollie? Must have killed him. I don't know. And Ollie still doesn't learn from his mistakes. Fred got a red card for the PSG game. Fred will get a red card today. Today's game. Ollie refused to sub him. Ollie didn't sub him in the end, but you know, it's one of those where I felt that Fred and McTominay should have been subbed off before Bruno. I agree, and all of that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out. Brock Lesnar in. Who's that? Am I like being stupid? And United won because of a heavier firepower. It's like a battleship versus a rowing boat today. It was two managers. It was El SACIKO today. Two managers that are in the mud. Two managers that haven't been brilliant. But one manager had better players than the other. We have better players than Spurs, and I think if we'd lost to Spurs, I would have been fuming. I knew the Spurs side wasn't good. If we'd have lost to Spurs, I would have been fuming, guys. I don't know about you, but you know, losing to Spurs would just have been almost unforgivable, because they are definitely the worst team we've played this season. Newcastle put more of a fight up than Spurs. You know, if I'm a Spurs fan, I'm livid. I'm losing my shit. Newcastle generally put more of a fight up than Tottenham Hotspur today. They were embarrassing. As a United fan, we battered Leeds. Leeds looked more convincing. We battered Newcastle. Newcastle looked more convincing. You know, generally, when Man United have won games, we haven't been lucky to win. But today, Tottenham are crap. Free Sancho. Donny's leaving in January, and Sancho's going to take Donny's place as the bench warmer. And Donny, man of the match, but won't play or let him leave. Clearly lying. Yeah. I feel sorry for Donny. Ollie's plan is Donny on the bench. Maybe Donny on the bench is Ollie's good luck charm. And Sancho needs to be loaned out, get some first. Sancho needs to play. I want Sancho. Sancho better start versus Atalanta. I want to see Sancho, Ronaldo play versus Atalanta. No, maybe not. I want to see Sancho on the right wing versus Atalanta. Okay. I'd like to see Donny play versus Atalanta. I'd like to see Matic play versus Atalanta, because I know this exact starting 11 is going to play versus Manchester City. This exact starting 11 that played versus Spurs will play versus Manchester City next week. I can call it. This exact starting 11. We've got a game on Tuesday. Now, if this starting 11 is going to play versus Manchester City on Saturday, we need to rotate on Tuesday. And I want to see Donny. I want to see Sancho playing. I want to see Telles playing. I want to see Luke Shaw rested for Telles. I want to see Sancho coming in. I quite like to see Greenwood because he's on good form. And I quite like to see Donny van der Beek, Jesse Lingard, and possibly Martial, because I look at that. Ollie needs those 3 points versus Atalanta. Ollie's job's on the line, and Ollie's probably going to be selfish. I'm not going to lie. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably going to be selfish and play his strongest starting 11 and not rest players and not give any players a chance, because Ollie's job's on the line. He's got 3 games to save his job. He's got to win all 3. So he's not going to be thinking long term. He's going to be thinking who's the best player for this game and not looking ahead. But I think for me, Shaw's got to be dropped for Telles for Atalanta and rested. I think Donny deserves a chance. I think that Sancho has to play on the right-hand side. I'd like to see Martial or Greenwood be involved as well, personally, myself. Let me know what you think, what you do versus Atalanta. I will be live Monday night for a Manchester United versus Atalanta preview. So make sure you subscribe for that and stay tuned for that as well. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you're watching right now, please do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football for daily Manchester United news and updates. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel. So if you do want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news, transfer news, and more, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and all of that. Top players will come to Manchester United. Will always come to Manchester United. We can attract top players, but this manager somehow attracts top players, but that's because we're Manchester United. And how long will this formation stay until we lose and it doesn't work? I think as long as you know. And Sancho was a star at Dortmund on the bench at Manchester United. That's the sad thing, is Jadon Sancho is such a quality player, and this is why I don't want to see Ole playing the system. Even though we've won one game with it, I don't want to see Ole play 5 at the back versus Atalanta, because whereas it's Jadon Sancho, Mason Greenwood, Anthony Martial, and Marcus Rashford fit into that system, they don't. And when I think our strength, as Manchester United, I think our biggest strength is in midfield. And when I see that pretty much none of our key players fit into that, that's when I sit there and go, well, that's not what I want to see. You know, that's not at all what I want to see. And hopefully that is not the case. But smash a like on the video if you haven't already. We're going to go for 300 likes. We've got nearly 200 people watching. We need 97 likes to hit 300 likes. So if everyone watching can hit that like button, let's see if we can hit 300 likes on the video. Ole will bench them all low. That's the problem. It worked today, but this system won't work long term. Martial, Lingard, Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, and none of them involved. Ronaldo says if Ole can't figure it out, the best formation for all our superstars to play alone together, Ole should quit the job. The top manager would find a way to get everyone involved. Will Pogba play again after the international break because of his 3-match ban? And he could actually play versus Atalanta. I think Pogba's 3-match ban is 3 Premier League games. Does anyone know that? Is Pogba's 3-match ban 3 Premier League games, or is Pogba's 3-match ban the next 3 games? I feel like it is 3 Premier League games, but do let me know that down below, actually. Ole keeps playing Fred. I'll tell you what, they're having 3 ways in the changing room. I tell you this now. Fred and McTominay got absolutely outplayed versus Liverpool. We got battered 5-0. Yet they start versus Spurs because Ole loves them. And that is an example of favoritism at their finest. They start versus Spurs because Ole loves them. Cavani needs to stay up top with Ronaldo, says Jack Septic. And 5-3-2, what Conte would use if he came, he would, but I think he would use it better than Ole. Pogba is more done than tomorrow's Sunday roast chicken. And we will play 5 at the back versus Manchester City. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. United will play 5 at the back versus Manchester City because, you know, it worked versus Spurs. So, of course, Ole's going to try it versus Manchester City. Ole's going short-termism. Ole's trying to do what works best for him at the time. You know, Ole's taken it game by game to save his job. Fabrizio Romano has said that Solskjaer's been backed by the main part of the board and Ferguson. Man United means he'll continue. Also with Atalanta and Manchester City, players have been so serious and respectful fighting for him, says Romano. Ole's job is safe until the international break, but if we do lose to Manchester City, again, he could go in the break. But yeah, Ole's job is safe for another week, guys. Still Ole out. Smash a like on the video if you're still Ole out, but it is safe for another week. I want to get through a few more talking points and then we're going to get into player ratings, so do stay tuned for that. But as I said earlier, Tottenham is shit. I'm still Ole out despite the win. Tottenham made us look good. I'm annoyed that we're not seeing the best out of Sancho. I'm annoyed with Ole's formation, his picks, but he got it right today. I'll give Ole credit for that. I think it's criminal that, you know, Spurs gave us a clean sheet. If I'm a Spurs fan, I'd be fuming because we are shocking and they made us look good for the first time this season. I think the back 7 is really, really defensive, but I think it worked because we scored first. I think if we played this system and Wan-Bissaka didn't make that tackle, because Wan-Bissaka was fantastic today, guys, again. He made an absolutely world-class tackle on Son. I think if we'd have played this system and Wan-Bissaka didn't make that absolutely world-class tackle on Son and Tottenham had gone 1-0 up, I think we'd have been in trouble. I generally think we might have been in trouble if Tottenham had gone 1-0 up against us, you know, because, you know, Tottenham when we went 1-0 up, Tottenham had to attack, and that's when they left space in mind for us to counter-attack. I think if Tottenham had gone 1-0 up and we'd had to break them down, I think we'd have struggled because of the back 7 and the system. It was very, very defensive. I think if you have to break down a team, the system doesn't work. I think the system could work versus Manchester City because they're going to attack us and hope they can win. I think the system can work when you go 1-0 up, but I don't think the system, formational tactics works when you need to break down a team. You know, if we're playing this 5 at the back team against someone that's going to come to Old Trafford and park the bus against us like Watford, I think we'd be in trouble. I think this 5 at the back system only works when a team's attacking you and you're 1-0 up with any spacing behind it. Hey, aka City, maybe Bayern Munich, Spurs today because we went 1-0 up. But to be fair, before we went 1-0 up, it was very, very equal. I think when it was 0-0, it was very, very equal. Son had 2 good chances. Cavani had a chance. I think it was very, very equal when the game was 0-0. And then we went 1-0 up. And when we went 1-0 up, Spurs had to come and attack us. It played into our hands. We could make it 2-3 and we looked good. But we didn't actually look dominant until we went 1-0 up. We looked probably a little bit better than Spurs. Pretty average for Spurs. I think we were pretty equal. Went 1-0 up. And I don't like the system because I know if we'd have gone 1-0 down, I think we'd have lost today with this system. I said earlier, maybe without a CDM, playing 5 at the back maybe is our best option. But if we are going to play 5 at the back, and if this is the long-term plan, then we must get Antonio Conte. And for me, I said that McTominay had a very, very good game for the first time in a while. He does suit the 5 at the back system as he can go forward more and has less defending to do. Maybe the system suits Scott McTominay. Rashford obviously scores again for Manchester United. Rashford, 3 goals this season, £100 million record-breaking signing. Jack Grealish, 2 goals this season. Just let that sink in. Stat for you there. And of course, the strikers have a combined age of 70. But I have to say that I love Cavani. I love Ronaldo. Cavani and Ronaldo have a great partnership. And what you can see with Cavani and Ronaldo is 2 elite world-class players with world-class mentality and positioning. And I think in a game like this, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job's on the line, in a game like this, where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's under immense amount of pressures, you do have to play who you can trust and players with an elite mentality. And I think, reports were coming out that Ronaldo went into the dressing room and Ronaldo was rallying the dressing room to play for Ole, to back Ole. And at the end of the day, what Ronaldo's done is captain material. Maguire might be captain, but really Ronaldo is. But Ronaldo, the way Ronaldo's coming in and rallying the dressing room and stuff, the players probably have more respect for Ronaldo than they do for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I said this before, I said again, 99% of those players in that dressing room looked up to Ronaldo because he was a Man United legend. He's the best player in the world for the last 15, 20 years. Every sort of player in that dressing room is a massive Ronaldo fan, and they're going to listen to Ronaldo. I think if Ronaldo had turned on Ole and Ronaldo had been Ole out, none of the players would have played today or played well today or played for Ole. I think because Ronaldo went into the dressing room and he acted like a leader, which Maguire hasn't, and he rallied the players together and he was saying, we've got to play, we've got to rap. All the players listened to Ronaldo. I think we did perform, we did work hard, and we looked like we were trying. And I think you've got to give credit to Ronaldo for that. He's such a good professional. And I think, I don't like the 5 at the back. I don't like the players that Ole picked, but I understand why Ole picked them, because if your job's on the line, you need the most professional players. You need the players with the most elite mentality. And Ronaldo and Cavani have an elite mentality. They haven't worked, but they've experienced. They're world-class professionals. And you could tell with Ronaldo and Cavani, they were going to produce something that maybe Greenwood or Lingard or Martial hadn't, because Greenwood, Lingard and Martial were potentially Ole out. Whereas Ronaldo and Cavani are such elite professionals that no matter if they're Ole in or Ole out, they're going to perform to the best of their ability and they're going to motivate the squad. Because at the end of the day, Ronaldo could be Ole out, but all Ronaldo wants to do is win. All Ronaldo wants to do is win. And, Scott and Fred, they know any other manager is going to drop them, and all they want to do is win and keep Ole his job. And Maguire wants to keep Ole his job because he's captain and Ole loves him. I think that is the situation at Manchester United. Ole played players that want to play for him. If Ole had tried something different like Donny and Matic, they're probably not Ole in, and they might have not played well. So I will say that Ole got it right. I do want to get into player ratings, by the way, guys. So smash a like on the video. Let me know who your man of the match is down below. I'm going to do player ratings for the next 10 minutes. So let me know your man of the match in the live chat. Smash a like if you haven't already. If Ronaldo is your GOAT, smash a like on the video. If you're still Ole out despite the win, smash a like on the video, because despite the win, I still personally am Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out. Ronaldo is a great professional, and our second goal was a classic Ole individual talent combining to create magic while Ole tells him to steal the ball and do something on the counter. Yeah, individual brilliance FC, not sustainable. And City lost 2-0 to Crystal Palace. If Palace can beat City, surely we can beat them too. Exactly. City are beatable, and if we beat City at the weekend, we go equal in points with them. So we're not so much in a shit show, which is brilliant as well. Do want to also say, by the way, guys, smash a like, do subscribe if you're new. We are going to get into player ratings, but Liverpool dropped points and City dropped points. So good, and United win. So all in all, has been a very good game for Manchester United. But let's get into the player ratings. Let me know your man of the match down below. And all of that, but David De Gea didn't have that much to do, guys. We're normally giving De Gea 7, 8s, 9s, man of the match. This was one of the first game in a while where David De Gea had not much to do. And I'm glad David De Gea didn't have much to do, because if we'd have played a back 7, if we'd have played a back 5 with Fred and Scott, which is a back 7, and De Gea had to make save after save after save, and De Gea was saving us, I'd be concerned. We played the most defensive we've played all season. 5 at the back with McTominay and Fred. We couldn't be any more defensive. against the Nuno side that's defensive. You know, Nuno plays defensive football when Man United part of the bus against the Nuno underperforming Spurs side that plays defensive football. If David De Gea was having to make save after save after save and keep us in the game, I'd be seriously concerned because Spurs don't play attacking. Spurs aren't playing great. We've got basically 7 defenders. I'd be concerned. De Gea didn't have much to do today, and for me, thank God, because I think that would be a very, very wrong sign. So I'm going to give De Gea a 6 out of 10 because he didn't have much to do. Wan-Bissaka, for me, I'm giving an 8 out of 10. Yes, Wan-Bissaka doesn't have the best end product in the world. Yes, Wan-Bissaka's not most convincing. Is it maybe because Ben Davies is incredibly shit for Tottenham that he made Wan-Bissaka look good? Potentially. But, you know, Wan-Bissaka as a wing-back had a good game despite, you know, attacking-wise not being a strength. Wan-Bissaka found lots of pockets and spaces. He did put in a few good crosses. There were some crosses that could have been better, but he made a good cross to Cavani. He tried to make a cross to Ronaldo. Wan-Bissaka found himself in the right positions, in the right places, and Wan-Bissaka defensively again. If Wan-Bissaka didn't make that tackle on Son when it was 0-0, Son most likely would have scored that and it would have been 1-0 Spurs. And I tell you this now, if Spurs had gone 1-0 up, they would have won the game. They would have won the game. You're thinking I'm mad? We won 3-0. No. We went when it was 0-0, it was very equal in terms of chances. Son had a chance, Cavani had a chance. When it was 0-0, it was a very equal game. Could have gone either way. I knew the team that scored first was going to win this game because I said Man United are set up so defensively. If we concede first, we're going to struggle to break Spurs down because Spurs are a defensive team and they will win 1-0. But I also said if we score first, Spurs have to attack us. We're set up to counter-attack. We'll win the game. Do you know what I mean? And for me, Wan-Bissaka in a weird way won us that game because I think if Wan-Bissaka hadn't made that world-class challenge on Son, he'd have made it 1-0. And I think if he'd have made it 1-0, we'd have struggled that game. So Wan-Bissaka for me, 8 out of 10. Lindelof had a very, very good game again. Didn't have much to do, but he kept Kane out of the game. Clean sheet. We haven't kept a clean sheet in a while, so I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Maguire again, probably the weakest of the centre back 3. I'm going to give Maguire a 6 because of the yellow card. Still looked a bit shaky, but he kept a clean sheet, so 6 out of 10 for Maguire. Rafael Varane gets an 8 from me again. I mean, just guys, whatever you say about Rafael Varane, you know, he is making such a difference to that defence. The quality in our defence before Varane and after Varane, it's mind-blowing. You know, without Varane, we can see 5 to Liverpool, we can see 4 to Leicester, and we're open at the back, and the positioning is awful. Varane, you know, the coaching, the tactics, the defence needs to improve in general, but having Varane in that back, we just look so much better with Mr. Rafael Varane. Mr. Champions League Varane makes a big difference to that squad because he literally carries our defence. Varane 100 billion% carries the Manchester United defence because we've been atrocious without him, and we've only kept 2 clean sheets all season, but both those clean sheets have come in games that Mr. Rafael Varane has played, and I think really as a United fan that says it all. Varane, you know, every clean sheet we've kept is come in games that Rafael Varane has been involved in, Rafael Varane has played in, and for me, you know, that sums up. He is Champions League Varane. For me, Varane has been one of our best signings. I want to give Varane the credit he deserves because I think with centre-backs, they don't always get the credit they deserve. You know, I think that's the thing with centre-backs. They don't always get the credit they deserve because, you know, they're defenders. No one's interested about. Everyone's interested in goals and assists. But Rafael Varane has not put a foot wrong at Manchester United this season. Despite us not playing great, despite the poor defensive record, it has nothing to do with Rafael Varane because we're so much better with him at the back. And even when we have not kept clean sheets, Rafael Varane has not put in a bad performance at Manchester United. He's been good every game. And I will give credit to Rafael Varane for that. Smash a like on the video if you love Champions League Varane. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to Alice Talks Football because I do daily Manchester United content on the channel as well. So subscribe because there will be live Tuesday night for the Manchester United versus Atalanta. Watch along. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. Better today. Kept a clean sheet. I still don't think Luke Shaw's fully fit. I think Luke Shaw reminds me of Bruno at the end of last season. I said this earlier. Bruno was really, really good for the first 6 months of last season. Then the last 6 months, he dropped off and his performances got worse and worse and worse, and he wasn't great in the Euros. I think that's the thing with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw never got a break in the Euros because he played every game right to the end. We got to the final. And Luke Shaw been fantastic, but he never got a break because we never gave Tellers a chance. And then Tellers got injured, and Luke Shaw broke his ribs and had to play with an injury because Tellers was injured. And OLE overplays him. And I think Luke Shaw needs a break. I think Tellers must start versus Atalanta for me. He scored in his last game for Manchester United. I think Luke Shaw needs a break. But again, much better. Fred, I'm going to give him a 6. Fred was all right today. Wasn't brilliant. Gave the ball away a lot. Had a couple shots. Had a good first half. I'll give him a 6. I think he was average. I think Scott McTominay was much better. I'll give Scott McTominay I'm going to give Scott McTominay an 8 out of 10. I didn't get an assist, but he made a perfect pass into Ronaldo. If I'm giving Wan-Bissaka an 8, I'm going to give Scott McTominay an 8. I haven't given Scott McTominay above a 6 since Southampton, so I'm going to be fair and give Scott McTominay an 8. Bruno for me an 8. I mean, Bruno's definitely a man of the match contender. The assist on the Ronaldo goal was brilliant. He created so many chances, so many key passes. I thought Bruno was absolutely fantastic. I mean, Cavani, you've got to give an 8 because he scored a goal. Ronaldo got a goal and an assist, so you've got to give him a 9 just because the finish on the Ronaldo volley won us the game. The Ronaldo assist, brilliant. But then also, you've got to think about that. Even the goal that was disallowed was a brilliant finish. So give Ronaldo a 9. Rashford comes on and gets a goal. You've got to give him a 7. Matic comes on and gets an assist. You've got to give him a 7. Jesse comes on, does his job. You've got to give him a 6. And I'm Ollie out, but Ollie won. We beat Spurs 3-0. Ollie's substitutions made an impact. We won the game convincingly. Ollie got it right. You have to give Ollie a 7, even if you're Ollie out. Man of the match is Cristiano Ronaldo. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. I'm giving Ronaldo my man of the match. What I do want to do, guys, is before I end the live stream, I want to go onto SofaScore and show you some of the player statistics, so I feel like some of you guys really like it when I do that. And then I will end the live stream. But let me go to Tottenham versus Manchester United statistics, read out a few live chats, and then we will sum up the live stream here. But here are the match statistics. As you can see, Harry Kane, if Jadon Sancho put in the performance Harry Kane would put in, he'd get like a 3. I mean, even like 6.6, generous for Harry Kane. Son was miles better than him. These player ratings aren't mine, obviously. But look, Ronaldo today, goals, assists, 1, shot on target, 1. So clinical. It didn't get much service, but he made 2 key passes and got a goal, Ronaldo, and he didn't get much service. 37 touches, possession lost a few times. Ronaldo was brilliant. Bruno, for me, absolutely fantastic again. Got the assists, 63 touches, 3 key passes. Bruno made 3 key passes that game. Absolutely brilliant again. Rafael Varane, fantastic again. Just doesn't put a foot wrong, does he? Wan-Bissaka again, really, really good. I mean, the stats don't really sum up them. If you watch the game, we saw Bruno was good, we saw McTominay was good, we saw Varane was good, we saw Wan-Bissaka was good, we saw Cavani was good as well. And only 60 likes needed for 300 likes, says Diego. So guys, smash that like button if you have not already. Can we get 300 likes? Still Ollie out. Man United need a better coach. Why doesn't Ollie play Van der Beek or at least bring on as a substitute? Feel sad for the lad. I agree. I feel like you could have brought Donny on as a substitute to see the game out. I don't think we could have lost the 3-0 up if Donny had come on. Bruno 8, Thread can't attack. Best player for me, Cavani, the guy that didn't stop running. Cavani's brilliant. I think my title is Cavani x Ronaldo Fire. I think the Cavani-Ronaldo partnership really works, and Cavani's such a great player, such a great professional. I'm a big, big fan of Mr. Eddie Cavani as well, guys. I mean, you can't dislike Edison Cavani. He's just a great professional, great player. And when we signed Edison Cavani, I was very against the signing of Edison Cavani. I didn't think it was the right signing. I was like, why are we getting Cavani? We should have got Sancho, but I was wrong. And sometimes I like being wrong. Sometimes I like being proven wrong. Ollie said our tactics were good. I don't think they were. I don't think the tactics were good. I think we deserved to win the game, and we should be happy with the win. Still Ollie out. Manchester United need a better coach. Why doesn't Ollie play Van der Beek at least? Yes, I read that comment, didn't I? And give Ollie a lifetime contract? No way. Cavani scored many at PSG. He did. And Sergio said that Ollie changed formation and tactics with the quality of players available. He couldn't go wrong, but without using a specialist CDM, he'll eventually get found out. Doubts about Atalanta. Look, I'm not worried about Atalanta. I still think we'll beat Atalanta because I said this earlier. Atalanta are missing 5 of their best players. Atalanta are missing 5 key players, 5 of their best players. I'm not worried in the tiniest about Atalanta, to be fair to you guys. How shit were we against Atalanta and we still beat them convincingly? We were absolutely atrocious when we played Atalanta. But we beat them 3-2, and it was convincingly in the second half. I think Ollie needs to rotate, but I think we'll beat Atalanta because I think they're not a great side. They're in Serie A, which is not a great league. We got past AC Milan, who are a much better team than Atalanta, a lot easier in Serie A. But also, they are missing 5-6 players. They're missing a lot of defenders. They've got nowhere near their strongest squad. And, look at Lukaku's numbers and Ronaldo's number in Serie A compared to Premier League. The defending in Serie A is, not as advanced. So I'm not worried about Atalanta. I think we'll beat them. I think Manchester City's the real test because I know this exact starting 11, unless there's any injuries, is going to start versus Manchester City because it's Ollie. These are his favourite players. They got to win. It's Manchester City. Playing 5 at the back of Manchester City is something you'd expect your team to do if they're not playing great. So this is what I expect Ole to do against Manchester City, this lineup. I think Atalanta we should beat. If we don't beat Atalanta, that's disgraceful. We need to get out of the group. But yeah, Steve says, man, you need a different coach to get good times and challenging to win big trophies, not to see how far we can get to. We do need a different coach. I think we need a different manager, but when Ole goes, and I still think Ole will be sacked. This is Spurs. Spurs are awful. You know what? We got a win against Atalanta, and then we lost 5-0 to Liverpool when the Ole sack pressure was on. Spurs are like an Atalanta. You expect us to beat them. Just because we beat Spurs, Ole's job isn't safe. If we get back by Manchester City, I think Ole will be gone in the international break. I think if we drop more points to Atalanta and Manchester City again, Ole will be gone in the international break. I expect Ole to be gone by Christmas. I really do. I can't see Ole keeping his job safe or saving his job or any of that. I will say that, but I think. I still think we'll beat Atalanta, but I still think Ole will go. I wouldn't give him a contract. And Atalanta's like Leeds, all attack, no defence. And Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can do well against Leeds because it suits the counter-attack style. And Steve says Man United needs a different coach. Exactly. And manager, as I said. Are there missing players or are they back for Tuesday? There's still missing players for Atalanta. And Ole's a lightning conductor for the Glazers. And Ole will get an extension if we don't lose against City. The thing is, it wouldn't surprise me if United did that. But guys, I am going to wrap up today's live stream now because we have been live for the hour mark. This is my match reaction to Manchester United 3, Tottenham 0. When I saw that lineup, I thought 0-0, 1-0. I did not expect Manchester United to win. I thought that lineup was negative. I thought it was going to be another shit show, but I'm happy we got the win. Super gassed with the 3 points. No, it means I'm still Ole out, still not convinced. Long term, we need a new manager. But 3 points, a win for Manchester United. We could go on Twitter because we're no longer above Arsenal. We're no longer below Arsenal, which is brilliant. So smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you're not subscribed to the channel. I will probably be live tomorrow night, and I will definitely be live on Tuesday night for a Manchester United versus Atalanta watch-along and match reaction. So make sure you subscribe for that because the Atalanta game is going to be an exciting one, I think, because they're going to leave a lot of space in behind and hopefully more goals. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for everyone involved in the live chat. Lots of great comments. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.